Chaz is about to show us how to make some gaskets. Or a gasket. Is that going to be a one piece?
I believe so. We're going to have to see what we got.
It's going to be a waste.
We're going to have to see what we got for material.
Yeah.
And it won't really be a waste because the cutout will be pretty big, and so it'll get saved and used.
That's true. Oh yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right, we'll take it. Is where they had every thickness. They only got a couple thicknesses nowadays. But you can go on the line and buy any of it. It's hard to find thin stuff. They got this one. How does that work? This is, and they got this one.
Mm-hmm. That's very thin.
I think it's 1/64 and 2/64 or something like I forget. But that's anyway. I always keep what I can get on stuff like this. Finally, we can actually get started. Okay, this is 1/4 inch.
Hole punch.
Okay. Now, measure twice and cut once, right?
Yes. All the holes line up.
It's looking good and
Flawless.
now we're not even sealing anything with this, so if we end up enlarging holes or something, yeah, it's not the end of the world.
True. Yeah, it was like, Chaz, why can't we just use our TV on this? And he said no. Almost kicked me out of the shop. No RTV.
Did they have it in 1960s? Ask yourself. No?
I was born in '88, so I don't know.
Yeah, you would. It's mind-blowing, the stuff that's been invented in my life. I'm born in '52, and we didn't have color. You know, the photographs and TV were black and white.
Yeah.
We didn't have tape.
Measures.
No tape.
No tape at all?
It was invented in the late '50s, and everybody thought it was a miracle.
Like painter's tape or like electrical tape or all the tape?
Tape.
All. Okay.
Yeah.
That sucks.
The first tape they invented was Scotch tape.
Jacob, imagine being with no tape. Like no duct tape and no zip ties.
Another thing we didn't have, when I started mechanics, they had just invented hose clamps with these slots.
Yeah.
It was the old kind with the screw, you know, and the two bent tabs
yeah.
there. So many little things, it's just amazing.
Well, that's fine if it goes a little bit in there. Like, see, like right here, it went in. That's fine. It's looking good, dude. It's looking fire. Oh, fun fact about Chaz, he bought this wire wheel in 1976, right?
77.
77, I lied already. 1977, he bought it from Snap-on, and he's been using it like daily, and this thing is still working. If you don't believe me, it's it. This thing's been through a lot. Perfect.
It looks to me like it was over at that other line.
That's alright.
Okay. Now
we're about to sell these on your website. $30 a piece.
that's gonna be good. I think we want to put the pedals in before we install this. They only go one way because they got to go like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's got to go like this. So if we did that, that wouldn't work, would it? So it must go like that.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Okay. I already worked this thing up. Typical internet, we prepared all the stuff so you don't.
Yeah.
Makes it look easier than it is.
Yeah, there's a lot that happens behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah. It's like the cooking shows where they whip up this meal in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Somebody was out there chopping and dicing and everything. Okay. Those are not the same size, are they?
No.
So it must go in this way.
Yeah. They made it real easy.
Hard to mess it up.
What about that pedals?
Nice.
Okay. So let's do this.
Should I do a
This
taste
is-
test?
Mm-hmm.
This is something else that didn't exist for a long time. That's synthetic lubricants of all kinds. All we had was grease made from crude oil.
What kind of grease is this? Maybe
It's a synthetic.
it's just synthetic,
Yeah.
all-purpose.
Yeah, synthetic all-purpose. When I was racing in the 80s, is when synthetic grease came out, and we couldn't believe it. We were putting in, I was running endurance races, and we were putting in we were greasing the wheel bearings every race. We'd run about 2-3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Wheel bearings would be burned up, replace or at least re-grease. The synthetic stuff came out, we could run a set of wheel bearings for half a season.
Oh wow.
It was mind-blowing.
That's some
The stuff
good
doesn't thin out when it gets hot, it stays the same.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just, it was amazing. Okay, so we're going in this way, it looks
Yep.
like. Okay,
Oh man, it's taking the grease off of it.
now, well, what we could do, I suppose, is put some in these things. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? They're brass, it's the brass.
Yeah, I see that.
That's another thing that's changed, is some of the good old expensive techniques have gone by the wayside.
That's a tight squeeze.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, there we go. We got pedals.
All right. This looks like the nut.
Is there a washer?
Well, that's the thing.
Probably not.
It probably just tightens. It would have to be an engineered washer to be the right stuff.
You don't tighten this all the way, right? Or do you?
Well, it tightens against that.
Oh, so it just bottoms out.
Yeah, I think it bottoms out because this is bigger down here.
Yeah, yeah.
It was seized when I took it apart, of course.
Really?
Yeah, but I
Mm.
cooked her apart. Okay, what is that, 5/8?
Yep.
Yeah. So far, so good. Now, here's a little unpacked over. Those sizes look the same as these, don't
Alternator?
they? It's a GM alternator. You see how big it is?
That's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
The advantage of this design is there's 3 wires,
Yep.
and that's it. No regulator, no nothing.
Nice.
Just 3 wires. And that,
Very good.
you know?
Yeah.
Be an idiot. All you gotta figure out is put the big one to the battery, put the smaller one to the field, to the key,
Yeah.
and then the signal light goes to that little skinny white one.
Is that what we're using for the MG?
Well,
That's the.
where I'm going with this is somebody needs to get on the internet and figure out a in other words, this alternator does two things. It controls the voltage. It regulates the voltage and converts AC to DC.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why it's got all this big.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is 2022. Surely they got an alternator about as big as my thumb that'll do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll just have to
find it.
create some kind of bracket.
Oh yeah, the bracket part is a real bummer, but I've done a million of them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about that. Just get me something. Just get me something to work with.
I got you. What you doing?
I'm making threads.
Tapping holes.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Tapping.
That's what I said.
That's awesome.
Look at that. It's kind of like. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Somehow we got it out. So.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Haha.
Got it. Oh yeah.
Did I just hear you say aha?
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
Excellent. It was like it was here before. All that
Because the spring didn't want to come off.
Chaz is big man. Look at that though. The WD went all the way through it. It's still stuck.
Stuck, hear you?
This bolt was stuck.
We'll
so
see about that.
we gotta call the fire department. Just in case. It's nice because he's got like all these explosives.
Okay, stand by to turn this with a screwdriver or something.
It's working.
Of course it's working, it's in flames. Grab it with your hand.
Yo, look at that.
No, it's just painted red, it's not like red hot.
Yeah, I know.
Here.
Yeah.
Well, so the only thing we're missing is that shock, which should probably deliver tomorrow maybe. Once we get that,
Then we're on our wheels.
we're on the wheels. Chaz ran the brake lines. This red is just popping.
Look at the killer doors they painted.
Yeah, the doors are done. They're painted inside. We didn't get to paint the hood inside or the trunk, but we'll get to that next
Working
time.
on them.
We got the new lugs.
Yeah. There's one more of these coming. We're
Check
missing
this
one
out.
of them.
Bam.
Pedals.
E-brake. Pedals. No gas pedal. Yeah. Because no engine.
Just clutch and brake.
Yeah. So what are we looking at for the next video, Chaz?
Well, hopefully we have our shock, and then
Yeah.
we'll be on wheels, and then we probably, ideally, would roll outside and sand, maybe.
Start sanding.
It's a big step.
You know, at least, you know.
We gotta pop these out.
The 120 grind type sanding, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and get started. It would be nice to have some primer to go back with after we do that.
Obviously, we're gonna shoot primer out of a gun.
Yeah, Yeah. With moving ahead, it's gonna be spray gun, and of course, we got no good weather for that.
Yeah.
So we may decide not to do that, I don't know. If we don't, then pretty soon we'll start taking apart the engine, I guess.
Yes.
Finish these panels and then
Yeah.
we're ready to start on.
So we got a hood, trunk is being glued. We're deleting there was a, what is
Luggage
that called?
rack.
The luggage rack, yeah. So we're deleting that. The only thing that's gonna have is that lock and then the emblem. That's all it's gonna have.
Yeah, so anyway, if we decide it's too cold to get involved with sanding and stuff, then we'll just put it on its feet.
No, it'd probably be like a Saturday during the day or something. Like it would be
Yeah,
up and down.
we can do that during the heat of the day.
Yeah, yeah.
I got the spray gun.
And
So
we can actually primer even if it's a little colder outside. I think primer is
no
okay.
problem at
Paint
all.
is.
In fact, we can spray red paint. You got to be patient because it wants to run, you know,
Yeah.
when it's cold.
Yeah. But yeah, it's looking good. The door jambs are all painted. That axle is nice. Are we gonna loom this wiring back here? Or
Yes,
okay.
I got a box of loom, maybe enough, but I know you
Yeah,
can
if
get
you,
more.
yeah, I can bring whichever size we need.
Yeah,
It's looking good.
we got to decide about the wiring. We'll do all that later, I
Yeah.
guess. We're never going to really get this to where you can drive it until after it's painted.
Yeah.
We're not going to drive it around yellow.
Great, we're gonna start the next video.
We're too committed, you know, to fixing it.
Yeah. Well, we went from let's make it run to let's color change it in like one day. But I think it's the right thing to do because we would probably do it anyways.
Well, it really doesn't have any rust. It's a nice car.
Yeah, it's solid. It's solid everywhere. That got deleted. It's looking good.
And there
So
were so many things that had to come apart. You just forget it.
Yeah.
Just do it right.
yeah, there's a lot to it than people think. There's like so much involved. Chaz does a lot of this stuff off camera when I'm not here, and Jacob's in school. He does a lot of things. Like I show up and like the whole engine bay's painted. You know, I'm like, what? Do you sleep? But I don't think Chaz sleeps. This rack had to come out like what 4 times?
Yeah, that was a battle.
Yeah.
It was a
But
battle.
so we are switching to a single brake master, right?
Yeah.
And
with
what's the reason for that?
This junction's from a Sunbeam Alpine.
Yeah.
Really, we're going with the brake system of a Sunbeam.
They're just more simple, less
Just like that.
less
It's-
tubing.
It's simpler.
There's less tubing, right?
See, that's got that same junction there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it has the pressure actuated brake light switch, which is better.
Is that oil?
Would appear to be. Where's it coming out of? Out of this cover
Yeah.
or the side cover?
Possibly the side cover.
You see, I didn't build this engine,
Ah.
and so I haven't even gone back through and tightened stuff.
Yeah. It might be coming from right there where it's sitting.
It might be. You'll notice the RTV.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not my work.
That's my work. RTV is good till gas gets on it.
It runs good, but eventually I'll take it apart and the engine, and
Yeah.
just,
And then we race.
just because.
This against that. Quarter mile.
This will bring surprisingly quick, 0 to 40 or something,
0 to 40. Which one weighs less?
This one weighs a lot less.
A lot less?
I think so.
But,
This weighs more than
but I weigh a lot more than you, so.
This weighs more than an MGB.
Wow.
It's bigger than an MGB.
It's got like a
Let alone
longer,
a midget.
that rear end is just,
Um,
the doors are much bigger,
yeah, I think it's like 2 feet longer or something.
Yeah.
this looks like it, you know, especially the back, well, front and the back, they look like a smart car or something, you know.
But yeah, are we going smaller with the tires though, or?
Yeah, we'll have some radial tires, and that, I think they'll end up being a 65 165s
Okay.
or 185s maybe. But I think 65 series is the tallest series that you're ever going to find
Yeah.
these days.
Yeah.
So we'll get the tallest thing we can. That's what these are. Those are 65.
Cooper.
There may be 185.
185, 70.
Yeah, see, these are
13.
185s. We'll probably end up with 165s on the Midget.
Yeah.
I don't know. I believe these are 24 inches. Is that right?